Let us cover one more topic in Elastic Load Balancer, that is cross-zone load balancing. Okay, so in this specific one, we are going to cover both theoretical and practical demonstration, where actually I'm going to see how you can actually enable cross-zone load balancing and in which of the load balancing services is it is enabled by default, disabled by default, and what are the charges that we need to incur. How does it work? Those all things we are going to cover over here, right? So cross-zone load balancing is a feature in AWS ELB, Elastic Load Balancer, that actually allows the AWS to balance the load. When I say balance the load, I am referring to distribute the traffic across all the registered instances, regardless of the availability zone they are currently in. This actually ensures that the traffic is balanced across all the multiple zones and actually helps us in improvising the availability and resilience of the servers. So how does it actually work? So you can just refer this diagram. Here actually each load balancer instance is distributing the load evenly across the registered instances in all the availability zone. So let's say there is 100 traffic that we are getting. It is evenly distributing into 50 in the load balancer. Now it's the loads balancer job to evenly distribute the traffic. Let's say here we have two servers which are currently running in availability zone 1, and here we have eight server which are currently running on AZ2, right? So what the load balancer actually does here is it will just evenly distribute the traffic. So it will just do like 10 server divided by 100 traffic. So it will give 10 and 10 traffic to AZ1, and remaining 80 traffic will be given to availability zone 2 where the server count is larger, right? So that is how the availability zone, that is the cross zone load balancing actually works. The more the number of count of server, the more the number of load distributed. So if we, what will happen if we do not enable cross zone load balancing? So basically the ELB distribute the traffic only within the same AC where the traffic originates. Okay. So it will just distribute the traffic on the place where the load is actually getting generated. However, if we enable cross zone load balancing, it will just distribute the traffic based on the number of count of server that we have based out of the AC, right? Now let us see in which of the load balancing type we can see the options enabled and disabled by default. In ALB, that is the application load balancer, this specific option is enabled by default and can be disabled at the target group level. Now what actually target group level is, I am going to just show you in this specific video itself so you can just follow along. In NLB, it is disabled by default, but if you enable, you need to pay for the charges for inter-AZ data if actually enabled. And in classic load balancer, which is going to be discarded soon, okay, which is going to be soon deprecated, it is again disabled by default, and there is no extra easy charges if it is enabled, right? Now that was all about the default behavior of cross zone load balancing. Let us see what are the benefit that cross zone load balancing bring us into our plate. The first is better traffic distribution. So cross-zone load balancing ensures that the traffic is disabled more evenly across the instances regardless of the zone. This prevents overloading of instances in one zone while uh, underutilizing the other ones, right? So it actually gives even traffic to them. Second is improved fault tolerance. So by spreading traffic across zones, cross-zone load balancing increases the resilience to failure in a particular zone. If one zone actually goes down, the traffic is still be routed to the healthy instances in another zone. So this is the perfect example. This is the perfect diagram which actually demonstrates the use case of the cross-zone load balancing. Okay. The third is no charge for data transfer between zone. If it is an ALB or gateway load balancer, there are no additional charges for cross-zone data transfer. However, in network load balancer, cross-zone load balancing charges are there, and if you transfer the data, you will have to pay for the charges. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages cross-zone load balancing brings? So let us cover that. So advantages is it gives us even distribution, which we covered. Second is high availability. So even if one of the zone is down, we can utilize the server which are present in another availability zone. When we say disadvantage, so basically it's all about the cost. For network load balancer, if we enable cross-zone load balancing and if we do the data transfer, it will actually incur the data transfer charges. In nutshell, let us wrap up all the entire theory that we did. Cross-zone load balancing actually allows us, the ELB, to distribute traffic evenly across the instances in different availability zone. This actually improves the fault tolerance and actually ensures better traffic distribution and enhances overall availability, making it particularly useful for the high availability application. Right now, let us see the actual demonstration where we see how you can enable and disable cross-zone load balancing. So basically, these are again the instances that we created earlier, and you need to go to load balancer. So right now, the load balancer which I have currently is the application load balancer. Right. Let me go inside the application load balancer, and here we need to open the target group. So here it is. So in target group, this is the target group that I created for application load balancer. Okay. So when I go inside the target group in application load balancer, I need to go to attributes, and here you need to see the option for cross zone load balancing. And here you can see cross zone load balancing inherit settings from the load balancer attributes. When I click on edit, you can just scroll downwards, and here you can just enable or disable cross zone load balancing. When you click over here you have three option inherit setting from load balancing attributes. Second is on, and third is off. So that is how you will be able to enable or disable cross-zone load balancing in application load balancer. This is same for network load balancers and the remaining as well, right? So I hope you learned about cross-zone load balancing in AWS, which is a third type of elastic load balancing, right? So yeah, that was all about cross-zone load balancing, and see you in the next one.